Hey everybody, welcome to the Healthy SBC Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jeremy Sutton, physical therapist. I'm here with the director of golf out at Southern Trace, Cameron Alford. Cameron, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me. So we're going to talk about, your role here as the director of golf at Southern Trace, and I want to get your history a little bit. So just kind of tell us who you are and what you do here.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Las Vegas, which is a long ways from Shreveport, Louisiana. But grew up loving the game of golf. My grandfather taught me how to play when I was 3 years old. He was a recreational golfer, but I just loved playing the game. So I kind of stuck with it all the way throughout, my junior years. And then I wanted to play college golf, but I actually fell through a glass table when I was 16 years old. College coaches don't like that, by the way.
I'm sure.
You're wondering. So I enrolled myself into the PGA school at UNLV, and from there it was great. I got to learn a little bit more about the business through the PGA curriculum, and then I got to do some cool internships. So I lived in Ohio, New Jersey, Florida, South Carolina, all throughout internships. Always stuck with it, and I've lived in a couple different states besides that, but now I call Southern Trace home.
Oh, awesome, man. So, this isn't the question I was going to ask you, but you brought up the injury. So did that pretty much stopped you from being able to play college golf?
No, it didn't. I could have pursued it.
Right.
However, I probably would have had to take a step down into some D1,
Gotcha.
lower D1, lower D2 schools. But at the end of the day, I kind of see it as a blessing because it's kind of framed where I got to go to now.
Yeah. It's funny how you talk about blessings and, we think we want to go a certain direction sometimes, and then, I believe God said, we're going to go this way.
Right.
And it does end up being a blessing a lot of times.
No doubt.
Yeah. I used to think I wanted to be a sports physical therapist, and now I love working with some athletes, but I prefer to work with people over 50. And if they're an athlete, great. But I don't care what they do. I just enjoy spending time with that population.
It's funny how it all works.
It really is. It really is. So golf's been a part of your life forever. Tell us a little bit about how did you even learn how to play golf?
Yeah, so my grandfather, like I said, recreational golfer. He had an old set of Spalding blades, right? And so when you look at all these junior clubs nowadays, they're a little bit easier to hit. The center of mass is a little bit bigger.
Right.
My grandfather never invested a lot into me learning how to play. So he took these regular size Spalding blades, right, which looked like a butter knife at home, cut it down to about this long, strapped a grip on it, and I would just go out in his backyard, hit range balls. And then we would go to the par 3 golf course, kind of learn how to play there.
Yeah.
On the other side of town from where I learned how to play is where my parents lived, and we were close to a golf course. After school, I'd get my homework done and strap my big bag on. I'd walk all the way down there, and I'd come back when the lights went out.
Wow. So you were using custom-made clubs before it was a thing.
It's somewhat custom, yeah. Grandpa's custom.
Grandpa's custom.
Right.
Hey, Grandpa knows how to do it. I promise you.
Uh-huh.
So, from that early age, and then did you just know you wanted to be a golfer from then on?
It's funny. I was involved in pretty much everything else. I raced RC cars, played soccer, everything that a young kid, in Las Vegas would do.
Right.
But I found out that I just enjoyed golf because it's more of an individual sport rather than, a team sport or stuff like that. I was also halfway decent at it, so it was fun for me. I had a lot of success when I was younger.
Good. I love that. Yeah. It's so my kids are 9 and 11, and we've done soccer, flag football, basketball. They do jiu-jitsu. Now my son's into pickleball really big.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I talk to him all the time, like, I want y'all to play a bunch of different sports, but at some point we have to pick one or two because I don't want to drive all over creation every single night.
Yeah.
So it helps. What's your favorite aspect of being here, the director of golf?
Yeah, my background, I was always at very, very high-end exclusive clubs, clubs that are limited in membership, limited in rounds. I took this job as a young professional because I wanted to kind of build my career,
Right.
I thought I'd be here for 5 years, grow this place to what they wanted it, and then kind of take off. However, I've kind of fallen in love with the place. This place was owned by a previous company that, really didn't put a lot of money into it. So over the 4 years I've been here, we've renovated the golf course, started renovations on the clubhouse, the membership's grown. I think the golf operations has run pretty well. So I'm just kind of happy that the dream's coming together. Found my wife in Shreveport, we're having our first kid coming up in July. So everything's kind of come full circle.
Yeah, you're not leaving.
No, probably not. No.
Well, congratulations on your baby. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So I think I told you this before we started. My wife is from Bossier, and the first time our first date, she said she wasn't leaving Bossier. So I'm stuck here forever too. So I get it.
It's funny how they make the rules.
Yeah, they do make the rules, and if you think they don't, you're crazy. So that's a little bit of help for
true.
the Healthy SBC community. If you think your wife's not making the rules, you're crazy. So what? So you've been serving here for 4 years. You said you were going to stay, 5, but I know that's not happening now. Who is the ideal person that you get to serve? I know you're over like the operations and doing the tournament stuff, but who is your ideal person to serve in your daily?
Yeah, we've got a great membership here. I'm happy and blessed to serve people that really enjoy the game of golf, and they always see their golf pro as like the ultimate knowledge, right? Whether it's a junior, right, who's just learning how to play golf, or we've got some pretty high-end competitive high school kids, or the 65-year-old guy who's retired that comes out every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, plays golf, sits in the bar after, has a drink with his buddies, and leaves. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of great people, but they all have a passion for golf, and that's kind of what my ideal person I like to serve.
I love that, yeah. So I see some clients here during the week for home health, and the husband, every time I'm seeing his wife, he comes home and he's like, hey Jeremy, goodbye Jeremy. He's like running out to play golf, and I love it because it's here, it's convenient, and that's why they're here to enjoy that. Yeah,
obviously Southern Trace is throughout this residential community, and so the previous owners of the golf course was in terrible shape, but I think you start to see the community start to grow a little bit more,
right? Because
their property values went up,
yes.
The social scene is a little bit better, the culture overall has kind of grown, right, with the renovation of the golf course, and that's exciting to watch and kind of see.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk a little bit about that, how that culture is important to grow and to nurture.
Oh yeah, certainly. The culture within a country club is probably the most important thing. It's really funny. I've been to clubs to where, people don't even say hi to each other. When I first came here, the culture, people were just upset because the golf course was in terrible shape, the club wasn't operated correctly. But now that the members know that this is almost like their second home, they come here, everybody's saying hello, and you can find a game on the range. You don't have to have a preset game. So that makes it more of an inviting feel. We know we're a private club, but we want this place to be inviting and fun. So the culture is probably the biggest thing and the hardest thing for me to kind of change. But now, everybody smiles and has a great time.
Yeah, I will say, walking in this morning, obviously I'm not a member here, but I passed by 3 people and every one of them smiled and spoke to me and asked me how I was. And that is something I look for anywhere I go.
Okay.
Because you want to be, you want to be addressed.
Yeah.
A lot of marketing professionals say our favorite word in the English language is our name.
Uh-huh.
But it really is. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing? Hey, Cameron, how you doing? And it makes you feel wanted and loved and taken care of. And so I appreciate that from a visitor walking in, seeing 3 employees, and they're all saying, hey, how you doing, sir? And so I think you really have done a good job. So I know that you deal with the members. Can the public come out to Southern Trace, or do you have to be a member to play golf?
So we are a private club, so all golf here has to be accompanied by a member.
Gotcha.
However, we do some outside, events. We actually have the Fellowship of Christian Athletes event next month, April 8th. So
awesome.
We do some stuff like that, but mostly the day-to-day play is all member sponsored.
Yeah, and I think a couple weeks ago y'all had a girls tournament. A friend of mine lives in Minden, and his daughter was over here playing, I believe.
We do the Front Nine Tour.
Okay.
And so, our members, part of their vision in the goal for Southern Trace is they want to grow the game of golf in Shreveport. And that also, obviously, growing the game of golf is not your 45-year-old guys getting out of work at 3 o'clock. It's the juniors.
Yeah.
So we like to give them the opportunity to come out and play a different style of a golf course. Our golf course is always in very good shape, so the kids get super excited.
Yeah.
And so we certainly support everything that Mike Johnson and the Front Nine Tour does.
I love that. Yeah, I think the first time I played golf was over at Arcadia. And I think that course may be good now. This was 20 years ago, and it was rough then. So, but I know it's improved. And,
yeah.
But when you do get to play, so I went to go. This is a big tangent, but I went to the Players Championship twice when I lived in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
And you go from playing on the county golf course, which I thought was lovely,
mm-hmm.
and then you get there, and it doesn't even look like they're playing the same game.
It's immaculate, yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing. I'm not saying it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, but it's close.
Yes, no doubt.
It's the most beautiful grass I've ever seen.
It's amazing. It looks like carpet almost.
It really does. It really does. So the podcast is called Healthy SBC, so we want the community to be healthy, and you and I talked about how we want to connect the golf community and just the overall Shreveport community as well. But how important is that for the members to be healthy and in decent shape to come out and enjoy the course?
You'd be surprised that your physical health, right, and your mental health is extremely important to golf, right? I'm getting older and I can't touch my toes anymore, and it's affected my golf game, right? We actually have our fitness director here, Hillary Ball. She does a phenomenal job, and she actually hosts golf-specific classes to get people in better shape, right? Whether it's flexibility, whether it's just strength, something like that. A lot of people think that the golf swing is all just arms. If you have big arms, you can hit it far. No, it has a lot to do with your legs and your core, right? So keeping people healthy, certainly at the club, is important to start with, but on the golf side, you don't ever see a tour player out there. There might be one or two John Daly, people like that, but all these superstars in the world of golf, they're all physical, just specimens, and they have the mental and the diet to go along with it.
Right. I was so surprised when I saw Tiger Woods in person, how big he was. And I mean, he was solid muscle.
Yes.
And I couldn't believe it, because on TV you can't see that. It's an athletic guy who's playing golf, but no, he was a beast.
Yes.
So I love it. What piece of advice, I know there's a million things you could say, but what do you think is the best piece of advice to somebody listening and say, hey, this is how you become a better golfer?
Yeah, take it slow. Okay. A lot of people, they think of success as, A to Z, right? Well, there's a lot of letters in between, right? Golf it's a finicky game. Just because one day you played super well, if you go out the next day and you don't play well, it's golf.
Yeah.
Right? So take it slow, work on your short game. That's what I see so many, especially these juniors around here. They get on the range, they see how far they can hit it. That's great, right? But when you get up there and you've got a chip shot from me to the wall, right, that is the most important part, right? So take it easy, take it slow, enjoy it, right? You see a lot of people, they think that they should be one thing. Well, it's pretty hard to be one thing.
Sure.
So I've been playing golf all my life, and I'll go out and play with members, and they're like, you ever tried to play professionally? I'm like, boys.
Yeah. The
guys on tour, even the guys on the mini tours,
right,
are so much better than you can imagine, right? And we've got numerous kids and other guys in town that are chasing the dream, right? And they're so good at golf, but they have no chance.
Yeah.
Right. Now we have, David Toms, Sam Burns, just two superstars in the world of golf. They have it.
Right.
Right. But there's a lot of people that they're going to try, but they don't have it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, I wanted to be an NFL football player, and I'm 5'9" and ran a 40 in 10 minutes. So, I mean, it wasn't going to happen.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen. No matter how hard I chase it, I'm not going to get there.
Right.
So, I love that. So, all right, awesome. So, now it's time for the SBC Spotlight, and this is brought to you by the golf club here at Southern Trace. So, we're just going to ask you 3 questions, and it'll be quick and easy. Where do our listeners go to contact you to learn more about membership at Southern Trace?
Yeah, obviously, you're always welcome to come out to the club. We've got a great receptionist. She can kind of push you in the right way if you want to learn more about golf. This is my office. If you want to learn more about fitness, you'll meet with Hillary. Our chef's phenomenal, right? Yeah. So you always come out to the club, or you're happy to email me. My email is cameron.alford@southerntracecc.com. And like I said, it's a pretty cool culture. Everything's pretty relaxed here. I think all the staff does a really good job of taking care of not only the members, but the guests.
Yeah, I love that. And as I said already, I saw that from walking in here today. So I know most people know where Southern Trace is, but just tell us where you're located for people that don't know.
Yes, we're in the very bottom part of Shreveport. So, obviously, pretty south, right? So, Southern Loop, if you're ever driving south going to Baton Rouge, pretty much the last exit, Southern Loop's there, and then we're a little bit further away. So, south part of the city.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And if anybody's thinking about a membership, in the community, because there are several golf communities here, a few and nice ones. Why should they choose Southern Trace over somebody else?
Yeah, all the clubs in town, we're all very friendly with the pros and all the other staff. We feel like Southern Trace is more of the actual golf club. We've got a championship style golf course. It's maintained extremely well. We just spent close to $11 million on a renovation just in the golf course itself.
Wow.
So we are the golf club in Shreveport. We also have a great chef, like I said, and the culture itself, and we're a growing club. So our membership's grown from when I got here from 308 members to we're almost at 475 golf members now.
That's amazing.
Which is great for the club. And right now we're actually undergoing our renovation of the clubhouse. So over the next 2.5 years, probably we'll have the clubhouse completely rearranged, which is exciting. My office one day won't be here. It'll actually be on the other side.
Okay.
So there are big things for Shreveport. There's big things for Southern Trace. And we're just happy to be a part of the community.
Yeah, I love that. So, you're getting a state-of-the-art clubhouse eventually with all this renovation. So, yeah. I love that. All right. So, Cameron, this is the last minute of the podcast. I call it the megaphone minute because I couldn't think of anything else crazier. Yeah. And I just want you to talk for a minute about whatever is important to you. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Jeremy, thank you for having me on.
Yeah,
this was exciting. So, when you reached out and you said it was the Healthy SBC podcast, I was like, man, I'm going to do some push-ups or some squats or something to get ready for this. I moved from some big cities, right? And some places I really enjoyed. And coming to Shreveport, I was like, I'm not quite sure. But I fell in love with the town, right? As much as, the bad rap it gets, it's a great place, right? A lot has to do with, I found the love of my life. We're having a kid. And obviously, I really enjoy what I do, right? But Southern Trace has kind of provided a lot of opportunities, not only for the staff, but for some juniors in town, for some other members. And so the game of golf has framed my life, and it's nice that, it's given me so much that I can give back to the club and the membership.
I love that. Cameron, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate you.